Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to R116 Ministries. This is not Allison.
No, it's not.
Introduce yourself, who are you?
I'm Ella. I'm his oldest daughter.
She is the one who made me a dad.
That's me.
She is the eldest of all 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, about a month ago, we were in Rwanda, Africa.
A month to 2 months.
Wow, time flies.
2 months as of today.
2 months as of today. So we want to talk a little bit about our trip to Africa. We were there on the Peace Plan, on a peace trip. And peace is a strategy that we have been using for missions ever since 2006. That was my first trip to Africa. And this was your first trip.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell a little bit about what peace is, and then you can talk a little bit about what we did on the trip.
Got it.
Okay?
Sounds good.
And so as I'm doing the video, you have to act like you are really into what I'm saying.
I'm so into it already.
So the Peace Plan is a strategy that Rick Warren and Bob Bradbury and Mike Constance and some other guys developed at a church where we were on staff called Saddleback. And really, wherever you travel in the world, there are 5 global giants. And the antidote to those 5 global giants is PEACE. So the first thing is to promote reconciliation to God and one another. And that is to combat the global giant of spiritual darkness. And then the E, the first E, is to equip servant leaders, just like Jesus Christ was a servant leader. And that's to combat the global giant of corrupt government. And then you have A. The A in peace is assisting the poor. You do that through seed projects, micro enterprise, microfinance, and different things like that. And that is to combat the poverty that is the 3rd global giant all over the world. And then you have the C, which is caring for the sick, because in America, we have had the cure to most diseases that people die from all over the world for at least 100 years. And so that's caring for the sick and developing a strategy from the church to the community. And so that is to combat that global giant of pandemic disease. And then lastly, the E in peace is to educate the next generation. And that's to combat the global giant of illiteracy, which is all over the world. So those are the 5 global giants, and those are the 5 letters of the word peace. And so we were recently on a peace plan together. And was this your first peace trip?
Yes. Yes. Yes, it was.
Yes, twice. And so what are some of the things that we were able to do?
So we were able to go on some home visits where we basically went into these people's homes. And in Rwanda, it's a very special thing for people to be invited into. I mean, for you to have guests in your home, and it's something that doesn't happen often for many people. And so we were able to go and visit many people and just talk with them and ask them questions about just their daily life and things that they struggle with and things that the church has helped them with, their local church has helped them with, and just how they do things. We also were able to speak at a couple of churches, 2, right? Yeah. And just speak on the peace plan and God's calling on all of our lives. And we also were able to listen in and listen to some pastors and their whole thinking process through everything. Pastors of a whole area, not just the pastors of one specific church, and kind of see their thinking process to getting people to come to their church and getting people to learn more about God. And man, we did a lot. I'm just thinking of a couple of things. What else?
We did a lot. We ate. Our
We ate a
meals
lot
were
of
quite
food.
long. Yes.
Especially at the 2nd hotel.
In Goma. Yeah,
Pizza.
That's right. You never know what you're going to get sometimes.
You never know.
We enjoyed the table moments, whether they
Yes.
were an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours.
Or they were really fast.
Especially when we were in the capital city of Kigali.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's great to see what God's been able to do through the gospel and through the peace plan since the genocide in April of 1994, when there were over 1 million people killed.
Yeah.
And so there were a lot of orphans. And one of the really neat things that's happened since the first time I was in Rwanda, and I would leave and then come back and tell the kids about it and bring them stuff from Rwanda, is that there were a lot of orphanages because of all of the people who had been killed, and they left behind children without a home. And so orphanages were all over the place. But now in Rwanda there are just a couple of orphanages that are still open because the people in the churches have adopted those kids, and now they're living in their homes. So yeah, it was a great trip, and I can't wait to go back. So anyway, that's all for now about Rwanda and Africa, and about how R116 hopes to continue our work around the world. So thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the pictures that have been spliced into this video. All right, and she's a photographer, so many of those will be.
I probably took a lot of them.
Yes, probably so. She gets the cred, whatever this means.
Peace out.
Peace out. C. Coates.
See you later.
Yeah, Team Coates out. All right, bye. You're supposed to wave and say bye.
Bye.
Okay.